you don't expect the button to work when you click the paper.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like that.
Hi, Klaus, and
Don't know.
everyone out there.
Hi, Owen.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. And you?
Yeah, well, no corona here.
No corona.
Nope,
That's good.
not so far anyway.
Yeah. Um.
It
Okay.
doesn't contaminate through the computer, you know. It's other kind of viruses that attack computers, but not the
Yeah.
corona.
Exactly.
I was in a company where we were doing financial services and on mobile phones. And I got the task, my group got the task that we should make a web interface to configure the phones.
Mm.
And we were supposed to do it in Java. But, you know, to get something working rapidly, we did it in Datafix instead. This is about 20 years ago, and we had the Datafix web app framework 3, I think it was called, or something like that.
Okay.
And this was in the autumn of 2000, and everyone was working like hell, you know, and complaining that the deadlines were too short. I really don't know if I should say this is boasting more than I usually do. Well, anyway, so we made that interface in a week.
Yeah.
And I went to my boss and said, "Okay, we've got this here." It did take us a week, but that's because we haven't tried something like this before. And it's not written in Java. It's written in a language that's perfect for prototyping. Do you want us to make the real application in Java?
Yeah.
And he could see it was working, so it was like, well, no,
No.
you don't have to.
Just keep it. Okay.
Just keep it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually, when I do prototypes, I like to do rapid just sketches on paper, because then you can kind of see quickly how the interface should look, and you can kind of draw a rectangular that shows that this is a phone layout, and then you can kind of place things in it and look at it. And if you're not happy with it, you can just draw a new rectangle that looks like a phone and put things elsewhere. So that's kind of the rapid prototyping in the early phase that I do.
You know, I think that when you're using various prototyping tools, or for instance, handwriting or drawing,
Yeah.
I think that the biggest advantage with doing that is that the person that you're presenting it to will not think it's a real application.
Exactly. So they know that
Uh,
this is this is you don't expect the button to work when you click the paper.
yeah, but yeah, it's like that. Uh, but uh, when you made a prototype um, in, like for instance, Dataflex,
Yeah.
and it sort of works, or it's a mockup that can do some of it, but maybe not all of it, then it can be difficult to explain that it's only a prototype.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you have all the
yeah,
buttons and all the elements in there. So
yeah,
why doesn't anything happen when I click the button? Or can't you save something? But
yeah.
you've been playing around with another tool that is um, working to do kind of graphical mockups with easy drag and drop components. That is actually
Yeah.
designed to look like a um, something hand drawn.
Well, I got to experience with something that's called balsamic
Okay.
mockups.
Yeah.
You can place various objects on a canvas, you know, like a button or a list or whatever, you know, so that it would look like the objects that you usually use in a um, uh, program. However, they look as if they are hand drawn.
Yeah.
So when you present it, it would look as something you've been drawing with a pencil.
So you don't
And
get the kind of urge to click the button.
no, precisely.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that there's a tendency that if you are showing people a real screen or real window, they will lock into it in some way, and they will focus about, okay, so this is how it looks,
Yeah.
and what you want to do is to use it as a kind of inspiration and to hear if the customer has some ideas, but
Yeah.
sometimes it works counterproductive because they think, okay, that's how it is, and uh, I didn't want it that way, but okay, I'm not going to say anything because he already did it or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And like it might be that you have the color green on your background or something, and they focus on the color instead of
mhm.
where the things are placed. So it's a good way to, just like drawing by hand, it's a good way to look at where do you want the elements, what type of information do you want in the application, because the layout and colors and design, that's kind of a later step. Um,
I do think that this process or this part of a project is sometimes underestimated. I mean, how difficult can it be to make a drawing of the screen? I mean, doing the real programming, that's the real thing, but just sitting there with your pencil, it's not really real work, so to speak. But it can be a very important part of the process of getting an understanding with the customer on what is this program actually going to do.
yeah.
And another thing is that um, if you don't think about um, how the design is going to look, you sometimes end up with something very ugly
Yeah,
and
where things are
unpractical.
just stacked on top of each other, and
Yeah.
you got no flow. Yeah, I actually work on another project where they use Adobe XD wireframe tool, and there you can actually basically make something that looks like a web page, and you can have a click event on a button that takes you to another page. So you can actually more or less make the entire web design in uh, Adobe XD. But then again, you are focusing on the colors, on where the icons are, where the logo is placed, and all of these things, and not so much on how the functionality should be, what is the flow of the application, so to speak.
Yeah. Or is it the right information that you're displaying on that screen?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you actually understood what it's about?
Yeah,
But we are making drawings like that. Uh, we did make mock-ups or drawings even in the time of the character mode applications, and there was a special uh, uh, type of paper which had uh, 80 squares on the vertical and 25 squares on the other way, so that it was imaging the the screen, the
hmm,
old-fashioned DOS screen.
yeah.
Uh,
And then you have all these markings that here we need 30 pixels, and here you should have a distance of 20 pixels. So this one is
no, 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 no,
no.
no, no, no. No, no, no. We didn't have pixels then. We had characters.
Yeah, yeah. I'm mixing with when you do reports, because when you do reports,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
when you use pixels. But in the
Yeah.
design, yeah, that's amount of characters. Yeah, that's right. I remember. I've been working with the
80
dot
by
applications.
25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it
And
was easier because
but then when you did an interface, you basically had like underscores. That was your form where you enter information, a bunch of underscores. And if you wanted a
yes, it could be
date,
underscores. Yes.
you made
Yeah.
two underscore, a slash, two underscores, a slash, and a two underscores. Then you knew that that was a date input. And that was actually the template that the application used to generate the page.
Mm.
So
But it worked.
it worked. It was really good.
It worked.
Yeah. So I think that's something that we want to take with us when we move into the next video and talk more about the design and what you think about design. So
Design component.
yeah, exactly. But I think we kind of covered this topic right now. So what do you think? Is there something else you want to add?
Not that I can think of right now.
So that's it for now, and I hope you like to have some comments, and you can write them down below, and hope you enjoyed this video. So next week we're going to talk more about design, so look forward to that. And that's it for this video. Bye bye.
Bye bye.